If you don't like how your life feels, change how you live. You're not stuck because you're not capable. You're stuck because you keep repeating the same day with the same habits, the same excuses, and the same mindset. And deep down, you know it. You've had moments where you said, "I'm done," but nothing really changed. Why? Because you didn't follow through. You didn't stay consistent. You didn't push when it got uncomfortable. This video isn't here to hype you up for a few minutes. It's here to give you a real plan to change your life in 21 days, step by step. No fluff, just action. You don't need a perfect schedule. You need to stop wasting time. You don't need more motivation. You need to stop breaking promises to yourself. If you give these 21 days everything you've got, you won't just feel different, you'll be different. And people won't believe how fast you changed. This is how you become unrecognizable. Chapter 1. Decide you're done being the same every day. You know, one of the hardest things to admit is that we've been living the same way for too long. Day after day, week after week, we keep repeating the same routines, the same thoughts, the same habits. And deep down, we know something isn't right. We know there's more in us, but we keep putting off the change. We wait for some magic moment, some push, some perfect time. But here's the truth. The perfect time never comes. The change doesn't happen by accident. It happens the day you decide you're done being the same. That decision is where your new life begins. You don't need another motivation video. You don't need a new book, a new app, or a new quote. What you need is to look at yourself and say, enough. You have to feel it in your bones. You have to reach that point where staying the same becomes more painful than changing. That's when you stop tolerating your own excuses. That's when you stop settling for just making it through the day. And that's when you start building a life that looks nothing like the one you're living now. You don't become unrecognizable in 21 days by doing what you've always done. You become unrecognizable when you stop accepting average from yourself, when you stop saying tomorrow and start acting today, when you stop looking for outside motivation and start holding yourself to a new standard. It all begins with a decision. Not a feeling, not a hope, not a wish, a decision. And here's the key. You have to decide with full honesty. Ask yourself, am I proud of how I've been living? Am I proud of the way I spend my time? Am I proud of how I treat my body? Am I proud of how I show up in relationships? Am I proud of my discipline? If the answer is no, you don't need to feel ashamed, but you do need to decide right now that this is the end of that version of you. You see, every person hits a point where they get tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. I'm talking about the tired that comes from pretending to be okay with staying stuck, pretending to be comfortable with being average, pretending that someday is still good enough. But the moment you drop the act, the moment you face the truth, you find power, you find clarity, you find the courage to start. And starting doesn't mean changing everything overnight. It means you begin by choosing better today. You show up earlier. You finish what you said you would. You say no to what keeps you weak. You say yes to what forces you to grow. And the more you do this, the more you start feeling like a different person. Not just looking different, feeling different, thinking different, moving different. Excuse me? Staffing issues, I think they may dislodge you, though it is still different. Thinking is different. Moving different. Thinking is different. People around you won't even recognize you. Not because of how you dress or talk, but because your energy is different. Your decisions are sharper. Your focus is stronger. But none of that happens until you decide. It's not about waiting to feel ready. Most people never feel ready. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait your whole life. You have to move when you're tired. You have to act when it's hard. You have to decide when it's uncomfortable. That's what creates change. And that's why most people never get there. They think they need to feel inspired to act. But real progress starts when you act even when you don't feel like it. Your current habits are designed to keep you exactly where you are, and that version of you is easy to recognize because it's the one everyone's already seen. But the next version, the unrecognizable one, that version comes from the day you say, "I'm not doing this anymore." No more late starts, no more skipping the hard work, no more blaming time, people, or problems, no more hiding. You make the decision, and then you back it up with discipline. You don't owe anyone else an explanation. You don't have to post about your goals. You don't have to talk about it. You just have to do it. Every single day, quietly, consistently, fully. The people who succeed don't always have more talent. They just made the decision and refuse to go back. That's the kind of person you're building now. The kind that doesn't negotiate with weakness. The kind that doesn't let one bad day ruin the entire week. The kind that doesn't ask for permission to change. They just change. And here's what's powerful. Nobody can stop you from making that decision. Nobody can stop you from choosing discipline. Nobody can stop you from changing how you live today. Nobody can stop you from rebuilding your life from the ground up. People might doubt you, they might not understand you, but none of that matters. What matters is what you do when you're alone. What matters is how honest you are with yourself. What matters is that you stay committed when it's no longer exciting. This is the moment where it begins. Not next Monday, not next month, not when things are easier, not when you're less tired. Right now, you have to get fed up. Not angry at the world, not frustrated at others, but fed up with your own patterns, your own excuses, your own comfort zone. Because until you reach that point, nothing changes. But when you do, everything can change. People say they want to grow. They say they want a new life. But they keep waking up the same way, thinking the same way, acting the same way, and expecting something different. It doesn't work that way. You have to disrupt the pattern. You have to break it with force. And that force starts with a firm decision. This version of you has served its time. You've learned from it. You've survived it. But it's not the version that will take you where you want to go. The new version doesn't wait for motivation. It creates it. The new version doesn't complain about time. It uses it. The new version doesn't stay stuck in fear. It moves through it. But again, none of that happens until you decide you're done. Not "I'll try," not "I hope," not "maybe." A full-bodied decision, a decision that says, "I'm changing because I refuse to stay the same." That kind of decision has energy, it has commitment, it has weight, and it forces you to move. You'll know you've made it when your actions don't match who you were last week. You'll feel it when your choices start to make people uncomfortable. When they ask, "Why are you being so different?" That's when you'll know you're on the right track. Because becoming unrecognizable means letting go of the version of you that everyone is used to, including yourself. So what you do now? You get serious. You stop brushing off the pain. You stop laughing off your bad habits. You stop calling your laziness self-care. You stop pretending you're okay with mediocrity. And you start working. Day one is simple. Just do the opposite of what your old self would do. That's it. If the old you hit snooze, you get up early. If the old you skipped workouts,